This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by Johnny Fisher here in London at Lion Boxing Club. Johnny, looking good. How you feeling?
I'm good, thanks, Andy. Good to see you, mate. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Obviously, we're here. We've come down Lion Boxing Club, Matchroom Boxing, making a donation to them for however they deem it to be fit to kind of continue the running of the club. How important are these types of setups? Are Matchroom's involvement in the community for amateur setup in boxing?
Extremely important. Matchroom, obviously, the pinnacle of boxing, the sport of boxing. But without clubs like this, you don't get boys and girls coming through. So it's important to give a little bit back, and Matchroom are doing a great thing, and I'm very honoured that they've invited me to be a small part of that.
So a lot of the young kids obviously coming up to you. How many of them are familiar with the Romford ball?
Probably a few, probably more familiar with Big John as well. But I think if they're boxers themselves, they like to watch a bit of boxing, and some of them might like my style, some of them might not, but they'll know they'll be entertained, you know.
Certainly will be entertained, and people who will be entertained are now going to be further up north. Obviously, you've got your fight coming up with Rudenko. Slight change in the date, obviously with the cancellation of postponement of Catchwell Prograde, but the plan and the mission's still the same.
Definitely, and Rudenko's no mug. Like Zhang, Povetkin, Caballel, took them all the distance, you know. So it will definitely provide stiffer opposition than Alen Babic did.
Was it a surprise to you, the Babic fight, and how comfortable it was?
It was and it wasn't, because I know if I land on your chin, it can happen. You know, any heavyweight can do that, but I was expecting in my head to go 10 horrible hard rounds. So to get him out of there quickly, and the whole team went a bit silent after, it was very satisfying.
I know for a while kind of your team have said ride the Johnny Fisher train for as far as it goes, because nobody knows kind of your ceiling and how far you will go. But when you obviously have these types of performances, we don't get to see just how much work you've been putting in the gym.
So much work. There was so much this time, and I think for the last 6 months I've had a mindset change and a mindset shift. I'm eating better, sleeping better. I did eat well before, but I didn't realise little small things that make a difference, you know. And everything's just stepped up a level, and it's got to as I try and keep climbing through, you know. And it showed in that performance, because not a lot of people expected that. They expected me to win, probably a few people, but not in such quick and easy fashion.
How important are the rounds going to be with Rudenko there?
Extremely important. Listen, if it goes in round one, happy days. It's great. It's a good win. But if you get 5, 6, 7, if you get 10 rounds in, if it goes to points, that's brilliant, and it sets me up.
You've knocked people out, you've gone to points, but at this stage, given the kind of earlier fashion of your victories recently, is it more on your mind to try and get some hard rounds under your belt?
Yeah, of course. Who knows if I can go 10 rounds or not? Who knows? So it's important for me to tick that off in my head. I don't want to tick it off necessarily. I want to get him out of there as soon as I lay hands on him. But if it goes 10, it's a good bonus. If I do well and I box well and get 10 in, that's a bonus as well.
Is the hope still there to maybe box once more after that this year?
Definitely. The talks are Australia, so that's the plan. But I don't look past Rudenko. There's no only talks. The only fight that matters right now is the 28th of September against Rudenko, as I call him, in an affectionate way.
Australia might be an exciting prospect though. You boxed out in America and now over to Australia. The other side.
Unbelievable. My dad done a DJ set over there and sold 5,000 tickets in one town. So if we fight in Sydney and we've got the Newcastle lot coming in, the Perth lot, the Brisbane lot, we're all going to have a big day out, and it's going to be double lively.
I have to ask you, Johnny, it's not a fight which I expect to happen anytime soon, but I've seen a few people throw out there any chance of maybe a Moses Itauma fight.
Moses Itauma, Dillian Whyte, Derek Chisora. When it's right and it suits me, they're all going to get it. But
how far off do you feel like you are from, let's just say Moses Itauma first?
Derek Chisora, Derek is my friend. I don't mean that in that way. He's someone that I look up to, and it's not in a disrespectful way. It's just that fight's been put to me. People are saying, do I want it? Do I want to have that fight? And obviously, I'm a fighter. If that fight gets put in front of me, like any fight, if it makes sense, like the Itauma fight, like the Dillian Whyte fight, like any fight out there, Dave Allen, if it makes sense for me at the right time, I've got the power at the minute to choose when I want to do it. So all these fights are going to happen. You've got loads out there. Fraser Clarke, Fabio, my friend. These fights can all happen down the line, you know.
How far off do you feel those fights are?
It could be, if the right offer comes in, it could be my next one. It could be the next one.
Just a couple of fights on the horizon I want to get your thoughts on. You mentioned Wardley-Clarke. Obviously, we've got a deal agreed now, no doubt. But what do you think happens in their rematch?
I think that's a really, really good fight. The first one was unbelievable. Credit to both men. I really don't know, Andy. I don't know how that goes. That's why I'm going to tune in and watch it again. Fraser points, maybe. I think that could happen. But I just know with Wardley, he can bang, and he can take you out there at any point. So it's exciting. But maybe Fraser points, I'm thinking in my head.
Joshua Dubois as well, September 23rd.
Oh, that is an absolute. That's amazing. I think it's a lot closer than people think. I'd say 55-45 in favour of Joshua. You'd have to probably go Joshua because he's not only fought at that level like Dubois has done, but he's won at that level. But if you're looking at it that way, I thought Dubois beat Usyk and Joshua didn't beat Usyk. So Dubois punches very, very hard, and I think he's got a very, very good chance in that fight.
Joyce, somebody you know well as well. I know you've got a good relationship with Derek Chisora as well. Was you on the fence? How did you feel about obviously Derek's win?
I thought Derek won that fight. Joe's my friend. I was watching it live. I thought Derek done enough to win, but Joe's my friend, and I always support him whatever he does. And if he wants to fight again, I'll be supporting him like no other.
Johnny, thank you.
Thanks very much, Andy.